This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O Show.
There's just one place to get our lowest payment on a new Acura Integra. $229 a month. It's the season of performance event at Acura of Pembroke Pines, #1 in the USA.
It starts every morning before the sun comes up. Projects are laid out. Plans are made. Equipment is fueled and loaded with inventory to handle all service requests. Orders are given to an army of skilled landscape maintenance professionals, certified arbor trimmers, irrigation technicians, and licensed pest management experts who fan out to communities and businesses all over South Florida. Experienced, on time, and dependable. Our staff is fully trained, licensed, and insured. Contact us by phone, email, social media, or through our website to answer all your landscape questions. We are Cutter's Edge, Total Landscape Solutions.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
It's game day at Toyota of Hollywood. Our all-stars are here to give you our MVP experience. Join the fun and feast on discounts up to $4,500. Huddle up and score big on a 25 Corolla. Not $26,000, $17,988. It's a tailgate party you don't want to miss. So gobble up the savings at the #1 volume Toyota dealer. Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
Oh, Sam, not again.
Initiating Daddy's back.
Go!
Set the rhythm of your smart home with Sloman Shield Blink, the new integrated smart home platform that automates your life just the way you want it. Sloman Shield Blink, be the maestro of your own home.
When it comes to your smile, confidence is so important. At Moody S Dental, they provide the services to get your smile back. This family-run practice prides itself by offering the latest technology to give your family the best experience possible. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years with offices in Hialeah and Plantation. They accept most major dental insurances. They provide free new patient exams, 20% off select treatments. To qualify, please follow us on Instagram at moodys.dental. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years. To schedule an appointment in Hialeah, call 305-821-0231 and Plantation 954-692-6825. From Invisaligns, dental implants, same-day crowns, and the preventative care and preservation to get your smile back. Go to moodysdental.com to find out more and tell them Big O sent you.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
Price, service, selection. Get all this and more at South Florida's #1 loved Subaru store. Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Save today with our 3 ways to save. 0% financing, 0 down payment, or make no payments for 90 days. From Subaru of Pembroke Pines.
After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors, 305-345-3649 or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welt & Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welt & Rayom can help.
There's just one place to get our lowest payment on a new Acura ADX. $239 a month. It's the season of performance event at Acura of Pembroke Pines, #1 in the USA.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
Boys and girls, welcome aboard to beautiful Hialeah Park. And we are here And Sean Stanley is here, ready to go. We're locked and loaded on a beautiful Tuesday, February 3rd, 2026, here at Hialeah Park Casino, second floor poker room. It is day number 19,010 since the Miami Dolphins were world champions. It is day number 8,793 since the Canes were national champions. So there we go. We got the Super Bowl this week. Thank the Lord. Season is over. Now we got to deal with all kinds of stuff. We got Bitcoin at a beautiful 73,000. More Trump dumps going on in the world, which is, I guess, a bad thing because a lot of people are getting shaken out. Dow is down 544 points. The S&P is down 106, and the NASDAQ is down 9 points. That is huge. That's huge. So you got constant uncertainty with the administration, and this is what you get. And so, unfortunately, there's a lot of leverage plays going on, shorts, longs, and you're seeing it with gold, you're seeing it with silver, you're seeing it with the stock market, you're seeing it with crypto. So there's a lot of rich people that are shaking hardworking people out of the market, and they're selling. And then Trump and his buddies and millionaires and billionaires, the people that you and I, we're not, are scooping up all this stuff at cheaper prices while people panic. So that's kind of, I think how many times I said that there's a transformation of wealth going on, right? How many times I've said that? And that's what's going on now as the society becomes more towards poor and rich, and the middle class kind of get killed. And that's kind of what's developing, all over, and it's happening here. And it's just stuff that people won't really understand, but hang in there. Stay strong if you can, because it's rough waters, but eventually, trust me, it'll go the other way. And that's what those people are waiting for there. So it is what it is. But what are you going to do? What are you going to do? You know what I'm saying? Smash the like button, of course. We need that. That helps the algorithms out there, as always, gets the show out there. We've got David Furones to talk a little Miami Dolphins. We've got Ira Winderman to talk a little Miami Heat. We'll see what Ira thinks about that absolutely stupid move for Giannis Antetokounmpo, but whatever. We'll get his thoughts on that, and we've got a bunch of things to talk about here on the show. All right, so thank you all for tuning in. Give me a little more. A little more. True Fin. Thank you for the love already on the super chat. I appreciate that. It says, I will laugh if Miami drafts a QB this year. Then I mean, a late round draft pick. Yeah, I can see something like that, but it's not, you're not going to take anything early, bro. They're at number 11. You're not taking anything at that time. So that's not going to happen, True Fin. That's just talk. Look, you know how it is on this show. I don't like to talk about silliness. Not for nothing, but I got in the car, I'm driving here, and the conversation on a station was Justin Fields or Kyler Murray. That was the conversation. I heard that for like 60 seconds, and I had to turn it off because that's what your sports talk is, So I turned it off. So, but I would imagine, knowing what what I've heard before from there, they probably spent a couple segments on it, and it's just like I don't have time for this shit. I just don't have time for this shit. I don't talk to you guys about stupid shit. Just because it's a wacky sports topic to get people going, or if it gets you going. I mean, you're not very smart if that gets you going. It's kind of like, I kind of want you to be more high IQ sports than low IQ sports, where it's just Mickey Mouse sports talk and shtick. Always shtick. You know what I mean? That's bogus shit. So we don't get into that.
And that's what I would tell you, true Fin fan. I'm not, they're not drafting a quarterback that matters. They'll draft something later on, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh round. I can see that for sure. I can definitely see them taking some kind of a crazy project. I would too. If I don't have a quarterback, I would be taking a guy in the second and third days every year. You know what I mean? And then if I'm high up and I got an opportunity to take the guy that I want, then yeah, I'll do that too also. But that's not going to happen because Mendoza's the guy, and that's it. You're not really killing yourself for any other quarterback in this draft. So, quarterback is it's nothing. It's just a throw in a guy that comes in, maybe competing for a backup job. So you're going to go for a veteran. You're going to sign some kind of a veteran out there. That's what they're going to do. I would imagine they're not going to go with Quinn Ewers as your starter. That's just not going to happen. They'll bring some kind of a veteran and Quinn, and then whoever they draft late that will be competing. Who knows? He might be better than Quinn. Maybe not. I don't know. I have no idea, dude. You know what I mean? But here's what I would tell you. Next year is not about that. So don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. It's a year where you're tearing it down and you're starting to rebuild this whole thing. So it's more development than anything else. Don't forget, folks, you can make a donation to the show, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. You can make a Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, or Solana donation also, because Venmo has opened things up, and I happen to be an investor of all four. So there you go. And you can send in your questions, comments, insults, all kinds of good stuff. Bitcoin right now is at a beautiful 73,372. I love it. It's fantastic. Anyway, Brian Radke saying happy 13th anniversary, Sean. All right.
Yes, I thank everybody on the chat that has thrown out the
yesterday.
Anniversary wishes.
He wasn't with us because he was celebrating his 13th anniversary. So happy anniversary. All right. Let's see. Mark is in the house. He says, finish building the O-line. Get 2 solid pieces there, and I'll fill it in, please. Puff, puff, give. I like it. TJ Superman. The puff, puff, give, by the way. Jeff in Long Island is in. Another happy anniversary for you. Dolphin Dave is in. Need to be committed to the draft and quit trading for big names. Kosa, howdy to you, sir. Captain Saki, good afternoon. He just got out of mouth surgery and ready to smash this like button. Thank you out there in Tarpon Springs. Appreciate you, my brother. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oscar Rojas is smashing it in the like button too. That's it. Hit that like button. Alexis Palenzuela. I'm asking for your concert advice. 2 old school bands are coming to me. The Beach Boys and Night Ranger. Which do you recommend? Oh, you go to Night Ranger. You're not, Beach Boys don't exist. There's nobody there. You're watching a tribute band. Okay. Night Ranger. Jack Blades is still the singer. Got him. Sing Me Away is my favorite song, and the drummer's still there, and he sings it because Jack Blade sings most of the songs, most of the hits. But my favorite song is Sing Me Away, which the drummer he sings Sister Christian, and he sings Sing Me Away, actually. He's still there, and Brad Gillis, the guitarist, is still there. So you have 3 of the 4 original members, the ones that matter, the ones that wrote the music, actually, because even Jeff, the other second guitarist that was there, he was a good guitarist, don't get me wrong. But, yeah, so I would go to Night Ranger. And by the way, Jack Blade still sounds great. Night Ranger still rocks. So I would go to Night Ranger. The Beach Boys you're not really seeing the Beach Boys, dude. So why are you going to go watch a tribute band? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, not worth it. It's a no-brainer, Night Ranger. Night Ranger! It's another song from the first album. Let's see. Big Johnson is in the house. Think Blue Dodgers. He says blazing kush, drinking some cafecito, and bumping some oldies. Smash the like. I like it. Nyborg is in. I'm going to propose that the Jets send the Dolphins all their their number one picks in exchange for a 6-pack of Near Beer and Liam Eichenberg. Fair trade. I agree. I just never heard of Near Beer. I don't know what that is. I guess. Lenny Pena is in. I'm imploring the Heat front office not make this trade for Giannis. I agree, but they like I said it yesterday, and you probably made it a segment. I don't know if you made it a video yet, but the Heat no longer have balls anymore. They have no balls anymore. So that's just kind of the way it goes. They go safe routes now. Frankie Fresco, happy anniversary to you from Frankie. And Lenny Pena, also a happy anniversary. There we go. Daddy Dean, happy anniversary. Jeff in Long Island. Oh, yes. You are Abe Frobman, the Sausage King of Chicago. Yes, I am Abe Frobman, the Sausage King of Chicago. Okay. Yes. I saw the shirt. I had to have it, man. It's a great scene. Just is. Jeff in Long Island loves the shirt, like he said. Let's see. Sean, what'd you think about Royal Rumble?
Dad Dean, I'm so glad you asked. Tonight at 7 p. The Squared Circle Digest with Frankie Fresco and myself. We will be discussing that on the Stanley Media House YouTube channel. So go subscribe. Check it out.
There you go. What'd you think of Lady Gaga on the Grammys? You didn't watch it? She was great, bro. She was so amazing, dude. She's so good. So damn good. Real talent. Let's see. Norin Rad says happy anniversary. He says you made it longer than I did. At least he has a sense of humor about it. Right?
It's not my first go around, okay?
No, but hey, it's still 13, bro. Still 13. Okay. All right. Let's see. Stoney Stanley in. Daniel says, see what Jaren Jackson Jr. got traded for. Bam can be traded for a lot more. Ocala Joe, afternoon. Happy anniversary, Sean, from Ocala Joe. Jaybird in the house. 4 losses in a row for the Panthers. I got to tell you something. Let's talk a little Panthers here. And, I've been super positive about the Panthers, thinking that they can overcome the injuries they suffered early on in the season. But the problem is that the injuries have not stopped all year long. And, you have to kind of assess things as it goes along. They're super talented, but they're also human beings, man. They've had 3 straight seasons of going farther than everybody else, and they've had 3 straight off seasons of having a shorter off season than everybody else. And then you start the season injured, badly injured, because obviously it starts with Barkov and Kachuk. That's like, oh my God. And you just continue to suffer injuries all throughout the year because the guys that are left have to carry the load for themselves and all the other guys that are missing. And it just it has worn on them. You know what I mean? And I'm starting to worry that they're not going to be able to make it into the playoffs because, man, they have, the Panthers have lost 4 in a row and they're 9-12 in their last 21 games. Okay? 9-12 in their last 21 games. So that's bad, dude. That's under 500 for a quarter of the season. And we're talking about the second quarter of the third quarter of the season where you really needed to start to pick it up because you're going into the fourth quarter of the season now. It's sad, dude. It's sad. And I wish they could overcome it, but they're human beings. And that's kind of what I've come to the realization. I'm not disappointed in them at all. I just think it's just physically it has caught up to them, you know? And in a twisted way, who knows? Maybe this is what they need, a full off season for everybody to recover and be fresh and then come back next year. Maybe that's what's best for them. Maybe they're so beaten up that the playoffs, even if they sneak in, they may not have enough gas to get through the 2 months that it takes for the playoffs because they cannot put together their kind of game night in and night out anymore. They just can't because they're not whole. And since they're not whole, they can't be the force that they're normally at, you know, and it's tough. Really is. I'm really concerned about the Panthers. I stayed pretty steadfast and think that they could get through this, but they're human beings, man. And it's just been way too many injuries. Way too many injuries. I feel terrible for them. I really do. Let's go with Jeff in Long Island says, don't invest any big money on a QB. I don't think they will. They shouldn't, and they can't. Anyway. Whoever gets drafted is going to be pissed off as Waddle when he got drafted. Like, damn, why did we have a mediocre ass franchise have to draft me? Frankie says he thinks Bitcoin will be dropping to 68. Delvis says Night Ranger or a band from New Delhi. Yeah. And by the way, you spelled night wrong. Okay, no K. Let's see. They finally got it right. Bad Bunny album of the year. And Daddy Dean says, Sean, you can please send out the information to watch your show tonight.
Yeah, I'll send it out to all my social medias. It's SS_sports talk on X. Follow me, and I'll send it out as soon as I get back to the house.
I usually retweet it on mine, too, on my Twitter page. But that's when I catch it on time, you know. Sometimes I see it after it's already being broadcast, and I'm like, oh, shit. So, but I usually retweet it also. But it's there. Anyway, what's it called? What else do we have? We got a bunch of stuff to get into. David Furones will be joining us in a couple of minutes, and we'll have a little Dolphin discussion with him. I will tell you this, man. I think that when we start to look at this QB class that's coming in, it's a shitty QB class. And a shitty QB class is a good thing for the Miami Dolphins. Follow me on this, okay? For many years, you have had incomplete teams and you add a quarterback. And then you're adding a quarterback that has to carry your team. Whoever it is, whatever young guy you've added, even Marino, your team was always defective. And that's what you constantly build, a defective team. So not having a quarterback in the draft is actually a good thing for the Miami Dolphins. Why? Because we have too many in the media and way too many fans that still don't get what's going on and that you're not ready for a quarterback. You don't need a quarterback right now. All your quarterback's going to do is get killed. All your quarterback's going to do is struggle. All your quarterback's going to do is have trouble because you have no foundation, you have no culture in place, and you don't have a team. So that's what you need to focus on. We need to see if Sully and Half can create a team, can create a foundation, can create a culture. So when the quarterback steps in, i.e. Sam Darnold, he just has to do his job because there's a supporting staff. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of what you want. Drake May has not played well in the playoffs at all. He played excellent in the regular season. Go look at stats in the playoffs. They suck when it comes to the passing numbers. But it's a team. They've got a running game. They've got a defense, special teams. They got a great coaching staff. So they find other ways to win. That's what you kind of need here. You don't have Marino never had it. And everybody after that has never had it. The quarterback has never had a team that is doing their part and a coaching staff that's fantastic and a front office that knows what they're doing with a competent owner. No quarterback's had that in the history of the Miami Dolphins since Bob Greasy. From Marino on, no quarterback has had that combination ever. So do you have it now? Do you have the owner? We certainly know we don't have the owner. Do we have the GM? We have no idea. Do we have the head coach? We have no idea. We certainly know we don't have the team. So what the fuck do you want a quarterback for? What kind of an idiot are you? Do you not learn? So the best thing for the Miami Dolphins is to not have a quarterback involved in this conversation. Journeymen, let middle tier starters, veteran guys, young guys, whatever. You bring in guys that aren't going to cost you a lot of money, and they're going to be game managers at best. Because right now you're not winning anything. You're not going to the playoffs. You're not going to have a winning record. This is going to be a bad team. So why would you want a quarterback that you're going to pay for high money or a high draft pick to get killed here? It's stupid. So let's focus on everything else. Focus on building a culture. Focus on building an offensive line, a defensive line. Let's focus on seeing if they can actually do it. And then when you have a foundation like the Minnesota Vikings, you go find your quarterback. They're idiots. They had the quarterback and they got rid of him, and they have the team that's ready. That's what you're supposed to do. You build the team, and then you add that piece after that. The Rams knew they had a team, and they went and got Stafford. They didn't think that the guy they had was the answer. They had the team, and they went and they got him, and they won the championship. And then a couple years later, which is now, they almost got back to it again. That's what you do. You build the team first. The quarterback does not – this is the whole bullshit traditional crap that you guys go through, and you hit yourself. You're like Gus Frerotte, ramming your head against the wall constantly, and you just don't get it. Meanwhile, the Eagles win with two subpar quarterbacks. Denver Broncos win with a guy that couldn't throw for 10 yards. Like, this is all recent history. This is nothing new. It's happened several times over. It's not like the greatest quarterback in the world wins a Super Bowl every single year. That's not the case. Joe Gibbs won 3 of them, and none of them were Hall of Famers. None of them will ever be Hall of Famers. They can buy tickets to go to the Hall of Fame, but they'll never be Hall of Famers. And to me, this is the part that so many of you have to understand. There is no reason to go crazy for a quarterback at all. Cálmate. Take it easy. All right? You're going nowhere this year. I tried to tell you weren't going anywhere last year, and you got your panties in a bunch, and you just unsubscribed and got all mad and sent me all kinds of nasty stuff and all that, and then look what happened. So listen to Papa O here, okay? I rarely mislead you all when it comes to our local sports. Rarely do I mislead you when it comes to our local sports. There is no reason. Change your thinking, because it's ignorant thinking that you desperately need a quarterback right now. Not going to get you anywhere at all. So why? Why are you going to put a guy out there to get killed? That's all you did with Tua. You put him out there to get killed. And you didn't have a team. You know what I'm saying? Tannehill took a beating. He lasted a while, but he took a beating. And he wasn't, until he went to Tennessee, they carried his ass. It wasn't like he was a difference maker. See what I'm saying? Because it was the team. They needed a real quarterback. They didn't get one. They got a Tannehill. But Tannehill eventually broke down because you never have the team. And that's the problem. And that's where the ignorance has got to end for Miami Dolphins fans all across the world. Okay? The quarterback should be the farthest thing from your mind this offseason. Okay? It's a waste of time. Now, if you want to take one in the latter part of the draft, because, so what? It's the latter part of the draft. You're not paying much for the guy. I can understand that. But there's no reason to trade the house for one, like you silly idiots thinking that you're going to trade for Mendoza. You know what I mean? Like, see, that's the stupid talk that I don't get into. That's all. That happened like a month and a half ago when the Giants had the number 1 pick or something like that at that moment in the draft. Oh, well, we could trade up with the Giants. That's the kind of shit. That's what you listen to at QAM. Okay? Bullshit talk. That's not what we do here. And so what we're doing here now again is grown-up adult sports talk. Stop being a child thinking that you need the little shiny object of the quarterback. Quarterback is freaking useless right now. Okay? And it's not like there's a plethora of absolutely stud quarterbacks out there that Miami can get one. You're not going to get one. No quarterback is saving this team whatsoever. Let's find out if first these guys can actually build a team and a culture. Because if you can't build a team and a culture, who gives a shit about the quarterback? I had the greatest passer ever, and we won nothing. All I remember with Marino in every big moment, in every big game, was an ass kicking and an embarrassment. That's all I remember. Okay? Every year it ended that way with Marino, and it's not his fault. So go build a damn team. Learn your damn lesson. The education is there. The history is there. Just check it out, dude. Check it out now. It's a vibrant thing. Since Q-Tip was there at the Grammys. Let's see. What else do we have here? Agree, Miami needs to build inside out. They get rid of the mediocrity with a set up a team through the draft. Then you get the QB. Yep. Giannis plays like Porzingis in the beginning years, and it didn't turn out good for Porzingis. I wouldn't ever compare Porzingis to Giannis Antetokounmpo, bro. Porzingis has been a sack of injuries from the beginning of his career and all the way through, and he is not half the player that Giannis is and has carried a team to a title and everything. And, only he scores 50 points and wins a championship and then orders 50 nuggets after. So I would not ever in my life make a comparison in the same sentence of Giannis and Porzingis. I think that's an incredible insult to what Giannis has done in his career compared to Porzingis. I think Porzingis couldn't hold Giannis's jock. Let's see. Think Blue Dodgers. Let's build the lines on both sides so we don't have to have a world beater trying to win the game by himself, which, by the way, that does not work. Okay? Pat Mahomes does not win it by himself, and he's pretty freaking awesome. Okay? When he doesn't have the people around him, he doesn't win shit. That's been proven over and over again this year and a couple of years ago when he didn't have the offensive line, he got his ass kicked. So nobody wins it by themselves in football, and that's your point, and that's where we got to get our heads out of our asses and this shit. Grow up. Learn what you've learn from what you've seen from the past. Let's see. Oh, now that the Steelers hired an OC and it doesn't look like they will re-sign Rodgers since there's a Green Bay connection, do you think you bring him in for 1 or 2 years? No, I would not. If Hadley holds true to his words, this draft should focus on the trenches. Still a huge problem for the franchise. Yes, I agree. All right, let's switch gears. Let's talk a little football with the one and only David Furones. and our Welt and Rayom Miami Dolphins report.
All rise, football fans, as the Welt and Rayom Miami Dolphins report with David Veronis is in session.
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They are committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. Here's Miami Dolphins insider David Veronis.
All right, David. Let's get into it, my brother. Don't forget, folks, visit our friends at Welton Rayom. If you need two lawyers that you can trust, the consultation is completely free. If you're dealing with bankruptcy, homeowner property damage, condo damage, criminal defense, business owner claims, they have their own adjusters. Never call the insurance company because they send their adjusters working for them. No. You have Welton Rayom send their adjusters. They're working for you, and they attack the insurance company. You never have to deal with them. 954-966-4646. All right, David, I want to see if you've learned something over the history of the Miami Dolphins here, because I think that some in the media and in fans in general, they take the stupid pill. And the stupid pill is, oh, we need a quarterback. Yeah, guess what? Right now, you don't need a quarterback. The last thing you need now is to invest on a high pick and a quarterback. The last thing you need to do is spend $30 million on a Malik Willis or a quarterback like that. Your team is dog shit. First of all, you have no idea if you can build a team and a culture. Okay? Marino came here. You always had an incomplete team. He could never get you over the top. Tannehill was here. Didn't have a complete team. He took a beating until he broke down. Tua was here, never a complete team. You beat him down too. He took all the punishment overall because you're putting Jesse Davis on the goddamn line. So for me, I think a lot of people in the media have their heads up their culo, and a lot of fans have their heads up their culo, because this year should be about building a culture and building a team and building the lines. And do what Seattle does, where they have the team and then they find the quarterback. The Vikings are idiots. They have the team. They lost a quarterback. That's what you do. You build the team first. Build the trenches, because if you bring a quarterback into this situation now, all they're going to do is struggle and take a beating, and you're not winning anything anyways. So for me, the first 2 years really of this organization is, let's see if we can build the team and a culture first and foremost before we worry about a quarterback, because you'd rather have a team than draft a young quarterback so the window starts now. Not the asinine reverse of Tannehill and Tua, where you draft them and the clock has started, and now you got to build the team before you got to pay them. So the ball's in your court. Are you one of those goofballs that actually thinks you desperately need a quarterback right now? I've made the case for you. Go ahead.
Well, not after the way you set that up. I can't be a goofball, of course, but no, I honestly, genuinely agree with you. This is about building a culture first, and I think that's how John Eric Sullivan, the new GM, and Jeff Hafley, that's how they want to do it. Is establish the culture. You can tell from what Sullivan said that building the trenches is important to him. Building a team that can win in any weather. He understands that quarterback is obviously the most important position in football, in all of sports, in all of team sports. Unless you're talking about sports where it's.
By the way, what happens in Green Bay to every quarterback that comes out? Is the team ready for them already?
The team is ready. The team and the team has a quarterback that goes and stays a long time, and the team even brings in quarterbacks to
Rams. Did the Rams not build the team and said, we don't have the right quarterback. We're going to trade for the right quarterback. They went and got it, won a Super Bowl, and now they've rebuilt their team, and the quarterback is there already, ready to win another one. That's how you do it, bro. You got to build the team first. It's got to be first. Now,
And we were talking about this on our Sun Sentinel podcast, Dolphins Deep Dive with Chris Perkins, how now there's more avenues to find your quarterback. And the Seahawks are living that right now. They are embodying that as we speak, in how they bring in a quarterback from another team who had his earlier struggles, was the number 3 pick with the Jets, went to the Carolina Panthers. I can't remember if there was another team before he got to the Vikings. Was great with the Vikings, along with that defense, complemented it well. And letting him go is probably a big reason why the GM in Minnesota is now out, along with some other things. But case in point, now he's now out of work in large part because you had this quarterback just last season on a 14-3 team with a great defense, and then you let him go, and now you're watching him go to the Super Bowl and be the favorite in the Super Bowl as well. So, big mistake by the Vikings to let go of Sam Darnold, and the Seahawks are proving how you can go this route now. You can find the quarterback, especially with so much pressure on the young quarterback to immediately deliver with that franchise, even when the system isn't really in place. It's not conducive for that young quarterback to find success. There's so much pressure on those young guys now during their rookie contract. These teams move on from those guys, and then now you might see them in a situation where they find success in if it's not their second stop, another stop down the road. Like Mac Jones showed some strong points this year when he came in as a backup with the 49ers. Another team where it's all already set there for you for a quarterback to go and have success. Brock Purdy did it as Mr. Irrelevant.
Hold on a second. But because of the way they went about it at first,
yes,
that they drafted Purdy, and then their window kind of closed in a way of that first wave of team. Now they're kind of in the middle of trying to salvage what they have, but you push that envelope, and now you're paying Purdy. And so now it becomes that much harder for you to do what you want to do. That's why it's the reverse, dude. First build the team, then get the young QB in there. So that way you're not pressured to get that salary in there already. You get the cheap years while the team is good. Look at the last 10 years, okay? 3 of the Super Bowls have been won by mediocre quarterbacks. Peyton Manning, Jalen Hurts, and Folds or Fields or what's Foles, right? Nick Foles.
Yeah.
I mean, these are not special passers. Peyton was, but that Peyton that Peyton with Denver was dog shit. So that was
people understand that. Yeah, when you
that Peyton with Denver is the worst quarterback in the history of mankind to win a Super Bowl, the worst. And the reason why, because you had the team. And you had the team for Jalen Hurts, because you see Jalen Hurts, he ain't shit as a passer, bro. He's an excellent athlete and a runner, but as a passer, come on, dude, please. You know what I'm saying? And Nick Foles wasn't anything either. So, and this has happened many times in the history of the NFL with Trent Dilfer and all that. I could go back, but I just want to go in recent history. It's happening. And Drake May has been dog shit in the playoffs, by the way. Dog shit. Seriously. Go look at his passing numbers in the playoffs. Not very good. He won 2 weeks ago because he ran more than anything else. It's the team around him, the coaching staff that gives him also the opportunity. He doesn't have to carry it all the time. That's why people have to change their thinking here first. Build the team, worry about the quarterback later.
And it helps when your defense is forcing these takeaways, and playoff Justin Herbert is not doing anything in round 1. CJ Stroud is having this turnover-riddled game. And then you get to face Jarrett Stidham, and then you have a snowstorm come in once you already have a lead. So it just worked out perfectly for the Patriots. So, but in large part, it's not just, those opposing quarterbacks played poorly, but their defense also forced them into a lot of those mistakes and capitalized. So that's a big part. That's why the Patriots are in here. And Drake May has been an MVP candidate this season. He's been up there with Stafford and whatnot. But
regular season, he was a stud, absolute stud. But it shows you how good the team is.
Yeah.
That he's not lighting it up at all in the passing game. And look what's happening. They're in the Super Bowl. And that's why, bro, get the damn team. So that way the quarterback doesn't have to do everything. And Marino had to do everything, and he still couldn't get it done. And Tannehill, you needed more from him because your team wasn't good enough, and he was never going to be that. And Tua, the same thing. You put it all in his hands instead of a running game and other things that you were supposed to do with a guy like that, and then it fails again. And it's like you never learn, bro. You just never learn. It sucks.
Nowadays, we see it with Josh Allen, with Joe Burrow. Like, the quarterback is asked to do everything. Then Patrick Mahomes had not a great year, but then their defense was number 2 in the league, and they won a Super Bowl that was kind of more so on the defense. That last one that the Chiefs.
And now
did.
Chris Jones was a shell of himself this year. His offensive line wasn't good. And where's Pat Mahomes?
Yeah.
Still nothing. You know what I'm saying? Even Pat Mahomes. So that's where it's all a bunch of crap. And we have to learn from our lessons and from the past, because that's the only way we're going to grow. The franchise doesn't grow. We don't grow because we all keep thinking the same way. And it's time to change, dude. And so that's why I think it's very important for these guys. This is a good time right now over the next 2 years to see. You've got all the extra picks and all that. Dude, build a foundation. Build a real team so that way when the quarterback comes in, he's got something to work with already and a real supporting staff. All right. Overall, what'd you think of the staff? Because obviously, no surprise, Weaver didn't get it. They had the defensive coordinator ready to go. So that whole farce did not play off well for them, unfortunately. They didn't get the compensation and all that. But what do you think of the staff so far?
Yeah, so funny. Minutes after the Cardinals news comes out that they're hiring Mike LaFleur, now the Dolphins, they must have had him in the room right at that moment and we're ready to offer him. What a coincidence, right? Sean Duggan is a defensive coordinator who, a fast riser. This he's only 32 and he won't have to do too much as defensive coordinator as Jeff Hafley with the defensive background will call the plays. But good opportunity for him as he rises rapidly here. And overall, Bobby Slowick as offensive coordinator, to the point of having an offense where you don't need it to revolve around the quarterback, then Bobby Slowick is another Shanahan disciple, where if you're running the same offense as what Mike McDaniel did, and you don't have to go take it as, oh, this is just McDaniel all over again. No, you're running the Shanahan offense that McDaniel came up in, Bobby Slowick the same way, and it works for a lot of the players already on this roster. Aaron Brewer gets to go block out in space in the outside zone. Devon Achane, you can lean on the run game and make sure that he's a big part of this. Kind of like quarterback proof, how we talk about where the quarterback doesn't have to go to carry everything, carry the team on his shoulders, take on that huge burden. So I like him from that standpoint, maybe in a second stint where he can learn from what he did in Houston. And, we talked about Nathaniel Hackett. I think quarterback's coach is a good position for him at this point after he got to the head coach ranks. Failed there. Offensive coordinator, he's had some success, some down seasons, but obviously has a track record and plenty of experience. And overall, this coaching staff is just about complete. I do like retaining Austin Clark as defensive line coach and Joe Barry to be on the defensive side, who has previous defensive coordinator experience. He was actually Hafley's predecessor as Packers DC before Hafley got there. And just a smart guy who knows how to stop the run, was run game coordinator already. So you still got to figure out what his position is, as you already got a linebackers coach in Al Washington, bringing him in from Notre Dame. A couple of guys that were with Hafley in Green Bay, Ryan Downard, along with Duggan. And I like how the combination of Downard and Jamila Day as cornerbacks coach, who they both have been with Rasul Douglas, who I would like to see return next season. So, as a veteran, not like a long-term piece, obviously, because he's already in his 30s, but I would like to see him back as a free agent on the 2026 team. So you've got some pieces who in place who are familiar with him and maybe can get him back in the building.
Let's hope so, man. Let's hope these guys are a good staff, because they're going to need one, and it'll be a good test early on the first couple of years. We're going to find out if these guys are any good, because they're going to face a crap ton of adversity. So they will be tested, early on, and we're going to be able to find out if they're a good staff or not. Because as long as you see competent football, you can understand when you're not talented enough and you get beat, but you can't go out and constantly beat yourself. And so that's what I want to see from these guys. I want to see if you can actually coach up competent football.
Yeah, it's going to be about developing talent, bringing up.
Oh, Oh, he dropped? Oh, maybe a call's coming in. I don't know. Right now, he's a black bear in a what is that? A photograph room. What's that called? Where I used to develop the film, the black room. There, a black bear in a black room. So, I heard the pop. Is he trying to come back? Oh, okay. He
back,
is.
Ryan.
There we go. This is my picture here is delayed a little bit. That's why.
Okay.
All right, doggy. So you were finishing up on because you dropped there.
Yeah. A call comes in for unknown number, and then I can't stay on the show. But I think this staff, it'll be about developing, bringing up youngsters that fit the culture they're trying to establish. This isn't about for this year and probably the next year at least. You're not looking at production in terms of win totals of measuring them by if they get to the playoffs or not. I just want to see a culture being established. I want to see development of young players, guys that are going to be building blocks for years down the road that will then eventually be ready to go and start competing. And I know a lot of places in the NFL, it's like this accelerated revival is kind of like the big thing, like the way the Patriots just had a 10-game turnaround and are back in the Super Bowl. The Broncos were the number 1 seed 2 years after they had to get rid of the Russell Wilson contract. That's not everywhere. That doesn't just happen everywhere. So I think it just starts by getting the right pieces in place.
Well, Denver also before he got there, Peyton, that defense was in place. He had a lot of those young defenders in there, and that was good because Denver was already developing kind of a team. And if you look at it, you're getting pretty far with a young quarterback in his second year, and that was because that was a pretty good team that he actually had around him. He didn't have to do all the plays. Did we lose him again? Okay, there we go.
And I think the AFC this year also just was conducive to that. Was just for the Broncos to get the 1 seed that quickly, for the Patriots to be the Super Bowl representative, which I'm still not high on them. I'm not sold on this Patriots team. Obviously Drake May is a promising young quarterback, and their defense is so solid and forces you into mistakes. But I don't see them as that good as a team that should be in the Super Bowl this early on. I saw them as probably like most years they should be like a 6 seed in the AFC or something. But Buffalo didn't take care of its business to win the division, and that's how the Patriots won the division. They're up there. They get the Chargers at home, the Texans at home, with C.J. Stroud turning the ball over everywhere, and then they face a Bo Nix-less Broncos team, and that's how they end up here. But the AFC definitely had something to do with these teams being able to rise quickly.
Yep, I'm with you there. All right, so what we started with, what's your gut tell you? Are these guys going to go the smart route, or they're going to do the stupid stuff like go for Malik Willis? Because you got enough people writing and talking about Malik Willis, so they can do the clickbait stuff. So tell me.
Yeah, I mean they should do their homework on Malik Willis. You definitely don't leave that stone unturned and check in on him, especially with the Packers connections that you have in the building. But ultimately, if the market that we hear for Malik Willis is truly what it is, to be up there in 3 or 30 million, even if he might even get close to 40, then you obviously can't do that. You're not in a salary cap scenario to be able to accommodate that. So, the previous regime spent that money on Tua, and now you're in a situation where you have to go get yourself into a healthy cap situation because of that. So Malik Willis as a free agent doesn't help you do that. So I would see that ultimately not happening. But if somehow the market doesn't turn out to be so big for Malik Willis and you get him on something cheaper, then that's something you at least look into. But only if you're getting yourself a deal. I just don't know if you're actually going to get a deal for Malik Willis, given kind of the hype surrounding him going into this offseason.
There's no way they keep Tua, right? Because that doesn't make any sense for him to carry that burden, because then it becomes a storyline that people will use throughout the year.
Yeah, I mean, some people want to say, hey, look, the easiest thing to do would be to actually not take the dead cap hit, move on from him next offseason. And, hey, even though if Tua was saying, well, yeah, it would be dope to get a fresh start elsewhere. Well, that was when Mike McDaniel was coach. And then now, you can have a fresh start right here and this and that. At the end of the day, though, then you're kind of just sticking or holding on to what was in the past just to get yourself through financially in a year where you're not really trying to go and win now and compete. That's kind of
he's not a good quarterback for a shitty team, bro.
Yeah.
That's not what he needs. A team that actually has a real offensive line, or if not, he's not an athlete, dude. He's just not. That's not his game. He's a statue. If you don't block for him, he's no good. Like a Tom Brady or a Drew Brees or a Peyton Manning or a Dan Marino. If you don't block for them, they're not going to be any good because they're not going to outrun anybody. And Miami certainly can't block. So, like, bringing him back would just you might create more injuries, and that might create more of a burden for the following season, I think. Right? Doesn't that create any, or can they get scot-free off of it if he gets like injured career-wise or something?
Well, if he's playing next season, I mean, then they're already going to be in a situation where they can move on, like they have an out in 2027, regardless.
Regardless, even if he's injured?
Well, that was like the first, like 2027 was always the first year where they could get out of it, where they'll actually save, like, all right, if in 2027 they were to release him, they could save $21.6 million toward the cap. Then,
but what if he's injured?
With some dead money, but
what if he's injured? Are you on the burden for more money is my point. Because I think that's
no more money.
Right?
But you're already looking at 2027 at that point. And so, I mean, maybe for 2026, I'm not sure what the ramifications would be if he starts playing injured and you release him then, but he still would have his guarantees come in, and then it probably just affects like the like certain bonuses and then per game stuff in the contract. How many weeks he's roster bonuses and such, but yeah, I mean, you would have the out to get off more or less scot-free 2027, but then you're holding on to for another year when you might be better off, all right, letting Quinn Ewers go compete with another quarterback that, maybe have two now competing to see if you have something in either one of them. Yeah. And then see if you need a quarterback in the 27 draft, depending on if you're choosing high in the draft or not. Especially if you're not going to go at the 11th pick, the same way I wouldn't invest in Malik Willis if his market is so much. Then you're probably not looking at like Ty Simpson at number 11 unless you fall in love with him and you just look at him like, all right, this is the guy. Like we know he's going to be the guy. Then I'd be okay with it. But other than that, I would prefer to see the Dolphins build the team first. Unless they see Ty Simpson as his home run prospect.
All right. You got something there, Sean?
I'm going to read what it says just because I don't understand all of the implications, but it says the 2026 protection of the $55 million due in 2026, $54 million is fully guaranteed, covering $39 million salary, $15 million option bonus. 2027 protection would be $20 million of his $31 million base salary for 27 is guaranteed for injury.
Okay, so
it says voluntary retirement.
That's my point.
That's
my point. That if he gets injured in 2026, you put him out there and he gets injured. Now instead of you getting scot-free in 26, you're now on the hook in 27 for another $20 million. That's what my concern is, because I know sometimes that's a problem, that if the player then gets injured on a current contract, then some more money then becomes even more guaranteed down the line because of the injury. You know what I mean? Maybe you have to have an injury settlement or something, but you're still.
Okay, I thought you were saying the other way. Okay. So
no, and I'm saying if you're going to bring him back like that and then you play him, what happens if he suffers a career setting? That was the Russell Wilson thing. They didn't want to put him out on the field because they would have been on the hook for more, and they wanted to not keep him off the field so they can get rid of him at the end of the year. And I think it's the same thing here. You don't want to keep him and put him on the field in 26, so you have no burden in 27. Right now, you will have that burden if you put him on 26 and he happens to get injured. So if you bring him back in 26, what are you going to do? Put him on IR for the rest of the year? That's not going to play well either with the players union. So that's the problem. That's why I think they have no choice on June 1st. They either try to trade him before during the draft or whatever and pay a certain amount of his salary and get rid of him and let him offload to somebody else so they could get some kind of a 4th, 5th, 6th round pick or something, or they release him on June 1st. To me, those are the only two options they have. There is no option to bring him back. Can't.
I see what you're saying. I thought you meant like the other way, but no, that you would be on the hook for more. It's not that an injury takes anything away, any relief gives you any relief. It's that, right? Yeah. So then, even more reason why it would be best to just part ways.
Right. Because you got to take the hit, bro. You got to bite the bullet. It is what it is. And if you bring him back next year, he now becomes your problem because you brought him back now. You made the decision. You put him on the field. He got injured. You're the idiot. Now it becomes your problem. Right now, when you clean your hands off of him in June 1st, that wasn't our guy. That's their mistake. We had to release him, and that's it. They can clean their hands of it. You know?
That's true. Yeah, the PR angle to it as well. It works for you.
Yeah. All right, follow him on Twitter at David Furones. Catch his exceptional work there at the South Florida Sun Sentinel. David, as always, thank you, my brother. We will catch up on Friday.
Yes, sir. Sounds good.
You got it. Welt and Rayom, they know how to get it done. Bankruptcy, unfortunately. Oh, my God. Student loans are on an all-time high. You know that the state of Florida leads in foreclosures in 25? Last year, this past year that left, that just passed by, Florida leads the country in foreclosures. Everything's fine, bro. Don't worry about it. Anyway, if you're dealing with that, which could happen to anybody, please call Welton Rayom, 954-966-4646, homeowner property damage, condo damage, business owner claims, commercial litigation, personal injury. The consultation's free. 954-966-4646.
This has been another session of the Welton Rayom Miami Dolphins Report with David Furones. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle, slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. Welton Rayom can help.
All right. Dr. J. Not a thing you can blame Marino for was not being a jerk to demand a trade if management not build a better team. Yeah, he didn't do that. He wanted to play here, dude. He wanted to play here. It's just we failed him. That's all. We failed him, bro. We failed him. It breaks my heart. It shatters my heart, to be quite honest. Speaking of shatter, shirube-dube. How about Lindsey Vonn? That is terrible, dude. She ruptures her ACL. She still plans on competing. She is the toughest athlete in the history of mankind. If not top 3. Lindsey Vonn is like one of the most fearless athletes I have ever seen in my life. How many setbacks she's had, how many times she's come back. This was an amazing comeback to make the Olympic team again. And it was heartbreaking to watch her wipe out there and get injured. And then now she comes, she's going to still try it, which is just, sure she's going to wear some kind of special brace or something, or what a tough SOB that woman is, dude. She and fearless. Wow. I have nothing but respect for her. And I don't know how many athletes are wired like that, to that extreme, to have that many setbacks and come back and then succeed on top of all of that. Wow. I just wish the the luck of a leprechaun would be around her at least a little bit more. That's all she really needed. She is greatness personified in every way possible. Wow, she is truly, truly special. All right, let's do it. Let's start off our number 2 of the program. The one and only Ira Winderman is locked and loaded with our Acura of Pembroke Pines, Miami Heat, and NBA report.
Heat fans, time for the best insight of your favorite team with insider Ira Winderman, exclusively on the Big O Radio Show. It's the Acura of Pembroke Pines, Miami Heat and NBA report. Here's Ira Winderman.
All right, Ira. We are 2 days away from the trade deadline, sir. And I don't know what to believe. I don't know what's what with this whole Giannis trade. I don't know what the offer really is. You want to enlighten us where Miami stands and what is the offer that you're hearing? And by the way, for the record, I hate this trade, but go ahead.
First of all, things are happening. Even as we speak right now in our Acura Pembroke Pines report, the Minnesota Timberwolves have cleared up their luxury tax to a degree, which leads me to believe they are in trying to pair Giannis with Anthony Edwards. So you have that going on. So that's a factor. That just happened moments ago in that deal. Other teams are trying to move space also. The Heat deal, and again, this is just what people are assuming is in play based on what the Heat have as assets. And that would be something starting with Tyler Hero and another matching salary to match Giannis, probably Terry Rozier, because it just goes into the ether and it goes away. Khalil Ware as your featured young player to put up there. 2 first-round picks, the only ones that he currently have at the moment, 2030 and 32, so those will be in play also. And then it's just a matter of how many young prospects. And when you get to this reminds me, before there was an Acura Pembroke Pines report of the Big O Show back years ago.
Are we going Denver Knicks, Carmelo Anthony here? Is that what we're doing?
No, I'm going all the way back to Shaq. And when you said you didn't know if they should throw in Caron Butler or not, and we had that debate. And so,
yeah, but he was 400 pounds with a toe problem and lazy. Okay. So you know what I mean.
So you had yours out there. They got a championship.
I really didn't expect him to pull an Ike Austin and play the way he did. I really didn't expect
it. So the question becomes, how many more young chips? Is it Jaime? Is it Kasparis? Is it Pella? Is it others? How many is too many? And Big O, I'll tell you this. I totally understand what you're saying, that a 31-year-old player with a history of calf injuries, which often, but not always, Kevin Durant did, some others didn't, lead to an Achilles tear. It's a risk. But it's just like the Shaq thing. There is such a hunt for championships, especially in the NBA, that the thought is, if Giannis can come and arrive and just deliver one NBA championship, not like LeBron with Eric Reed, 2, 3, 4, 5, but one, the deal will be a success. Now,
there's no way.
There's no Wade for those who were just listening.
Bubba, there's no Wade here. Shaq came, but there was a Wade that carried his ass.
Bam Adebayo.
No.
As
please,
a sidekick.
Do not insult Wade by mentioning Bam. Bam is not
if
Giannis.
Bam
is not
Wade. Talent.
Bam is not Shaq. Bam is not Giannis. Bam is not Wade. He's not in their category. He's not a dog in that sense. Those are 3 dogs. Those are relentless dogs that bring it every night. They're junkyard dogs. This guy is not. He is not the number 2. He's a number 3 at
But he
best.
has shown he can thrive along greatness in 2 Olympics. He has shown that with the right players, he becomes a different player. He is not a carry the load player. Yes, Big O, you're right. Dwayne Wade carried the load in that 2005 season before Shaq arrived, carried the load in between the Big 3 era. I get all of that. But what I'm saying is,
Bosch also was there too. That was the 3, so that was different too.
Right.
Bosch, even Bam is not Bosch, bro. He's just not.
What I'm saying is, if, and I'm not saying they will, but if Giannis and Bam and Norman Powell and other pieces can win even 1 championship in Giannis's tenure year, if the deal happens, then it will have been worth it. This is just like the Shaq deal. This is just, you know what, Big O? I've debated you on so many huge contract guys over the years. You've pointed out to the Dolphins with the Ndamukong Suh and deals like that went wrong. And I will say this. If any of those Dolphins deals or Heat deals would have resulted in a championship, we all have the same phrase after. It was worth it.
But it's not, my friend. It's not. We watched the West.
A championship.
We watched the West. There's no shot for anybody in the East to beat
what I'm
the
saying
West.
is you'd be closer to contention. Look, if you're asking me would I do it, I would. But if you're asking me would I give pause, yeah, at a certain point, too much becomes too much, and I do agree with that, Big O.
And by the way, there's no way that this deal is only 2 first-rounders. That's the other.
Well, no,
thing.
another player like an Andrew Wiggins would go out, and shockingly, Andrew Wiggins just showed up on the injury report. I got to tell you one thing: this time of the year, when I see the injury report, I'm like, yeah, I'm not so sure. James Harden last night just couldn't make it to the Clippers game. Now it looks like he's on the way to the Cavaliers. So this is an interesting time when you watch the injury report. I agree.
Okay, but you don't think it's in the end? I think this is all hot air because they will be outbid by somebody else that really is closer to a champion. That is a Giannis away from a championship.
This is what always happens to the Heat, is they get this Heat offer on the table of what the Heat are going to offer, and they play it off against everyone. Well, the Heat's going to offer this, and the Heat's going to offer that, and the Heat's so when they let the Heat set the table, Pat Riley folded the napkins wonderfully. The soup spoon was in the right place. The table setting was perfect, and then another team comes in and said, "You know what? But instead of halibut, I can give you lobster." And then the Heat get outbid. We have seen this before. We probably will see it again. But the Heat are in it. And please, Big O, when I come back to you, either at the trading deadline, we talk on Thursday, or next week on our Accurate Pembroke Pines report, don't do another one of those. Oh, the Heat came up short. The Heat outbid again.
No.
God bless him. God bless him for being in it.
Listen, I'll be happy if they don't make the Giannis trade.
Okay.
I'll be unhappy if they make the Giannis trade. You know what I want them to do. I want them to unload everybody
Memphis
and get all the
just
first
did
round
that.
picks and
Memphis
reset.
just did that. They got 3 first-round picks for Jaren Jackson Jr. After they got 4 first-round picks for Desmond Bane. They have done exactly what you want, and that leads me to the other chip, and I just posted this at sunsentinel.com. John Morant is out of there. I don't know if they get draft capital, but they'll lose his contract. And if John Morant is out of there at the cost of just contracts, going to get Big O a little upset here again.
Oh, no, but if you're going to do the Terry Rozier for John Morant thing, I
Terry
understand.
Rozier and Simone Fontecchio for John Morant works. Now you're adding $40 million to your books. Here's what's interesting, Big O. In a couple of years down the road, if you bring back Tyler Hero, not saying you're going to on an extension, he's going to wind up being paid more than John Morant. So in a way, you can look John Morant and go, yes, an average of $40 million is a lot. I agree. Guy who's been injured, whose productivity is down. But again, the Pat Riley School for wayward former stars has a way of making things work. Or you give that money to Tyler Hero, who is holding at this moment at 11 games this season, out Tuesday night, tonight against the Atlanta Hawks. I think it's something you consider. What you can't do is this. You cannot throw in any primary chips that can be used to get a superstar or in a package. No first-round capital. This is nothing like the 3 first-round picks they just got from the Jazz Memphis for Jaren Jackson Jr. or the Desmond Bane haul for Orlando. But if Memphis wants to wash their hands of the salary cap and everything, yeah, I at least would listen about it because you know what?
Listen, you know why I don't have a problem with that? Because you're not going to do what I want in selling Bam and Powell and get all the first-round picks and reset this bitch. And then, you got to stay with Tyler, unfortunately, until you can build it back up again to unload him also. You're not going to do that, right? Okay. Well, if you can actually get John Morant for nothing, then go ahead, bro.
It'll be salary space. It'll be against your book, something you'll have to consider, but that's the difference. It's just salary cap space. And you know what? Andy Ellisberg is really good at making that appear or disappear as he needs it, as long as it doesn't block the next move, whether it's Giannis in the summer, whether it's Anthony Edwards down the road, something like that. As long as you leave your optionality open. You know what? I watch this team every single game this season. They could use a jolt. Whether it's a John Morant or something else, just something to keep us going while we wait until the next iteration of this team, because the more and more you look at the standings, I will be doing an Accurate of Pembroke Pines play-in report again this April. I just will. But as long as Orlando Alzagari says, and I agree, it leads to something going forward, that's fine also.
Yeah. I just got to develop. By the way, I'm just still amazed people want Harden and Cleveland. Is it because Cleveland just can't get over the hump now and they've had that setback year? Is
you know
this
what?
like a desperation move or
It
what?
reminds me of another player of a desperate team, and that's with Paul George. The Clippers were desperate. They went all in for Paul George. They gave up Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. The 76ers were desperate. They gave this absurd contract to Paul George where he's not tradable or playable and suspendable right now. That's what desperation does. That's why if your take on the Heat with Giannis is it's a move of desperation, never make the move of desperation, because the move of desperation, there's very few success stories. Another guy, Kyrie Irving. Think about all the teams. Boston was desperate. Brooklyn was desperate. Dallas was desperate. No payoff there. So you have to look at that also. Cleveland is desperate. They had a great record last season. They walloped the Heat in the first round, and they were humiliated in the second round. This year, nothing but injuries. They're a second-tier playoff team in the East, so they're making the move of desperation. God bless them. You know, it almost helps the Heat in the long run because James Harden is showing, I mean, playoff James Harden is not a thing at all anyway. So fine, God bless him. Believe me, I wish that the Cavaliers had James Harden in last year's playoff series against the Heat. Because then you would not have won every game by 42,000 points. So God bless the Cavs. But you know what? That's what desperation looks like. How do you identify desperation in the NBA? 2 words: James Harden.
Well, you know what I wanted about this season was development. And one of my favorite dudes on the team is developing in a very nice way.
The Swedish chef.
Hillel Larsson, bro. God, you know, I've loved that kid from the get-go. You know, it's like the opposite of what we see from where you want relentless. You want a guy that brings energy. You want a guy that just wants to be out there constantly and will do whatever it takes to be that guy. That's who he is, and he is Miami Heat personified. That's exactly what I want in a Miami Heat player, and I'm just loving what I'm watching. I'm watching a guy really mature.
And don't overly fall in love with him. That's where you get in trouble with contracts. He is a wonderful, like you like to refer to them as role players, a super role player, whatever you want to say, but keep the perspective there. He will augment your talent. Don't expect him to be your talent. That is not who he is. Right. He is a wonderful role player. His energy and relentlessness and getting hit in the face is everything for this team. I agree. And again, that's the beauty of the Heat, that when they always go out and shop for stars, but they are so good at developing at the back end, whether it's middling first-round picks like a Jaime Jaquez or a Kasparas Giacochonis, or the end of the second round like a Pelle Larsson, or the undrafted guys like the Struces and guys like that over the years also. And Pelle is another wonderful example of that. The other guy I think you could
you win championships with a guy like Pelle. You need those guys.
Bruce Bowen. You need guys like that that stick their nose in there, that do the dirty work. Another guy in your international intrigue, I think you could fall in love with also, is Kasparas Giacochonis.
Yes.
He's a guy who's all over the court. He is bold. He's not afraid to take chances. He can defend when he needs to. He's shown he has more of a three-point stroke than I want. He throws the ball away sometimes, but hey, all in good fun. But I like that also. That's what I meant when I said about trades and other things. Give me something fun to watch. Doesn't have to always be about winning. Give me a fun game so when I leave Kaseya Center, I go, had a good time. Pelle gives you that exactly. I am shocked the Heat marketing people haven't gotten around to Pelle Larsson face mask night yet, but they have to do that next.
You know how they are, dude. They're like they really want you to earn it, and so they're still not ready to like overcommit to the kid yet. So they want to set that. It's like, look at Ware. I mean, he's got to earn it.
You can't go too early. But I would love to see a Pelle Larsson bobblehead night with a bloody face. With like a bloody face on it. I think that would be perfect.
Yes, I agree with you. I just love watching that kid, and he makes it so enjoyable. And it's one of the reasons why I watch Heat basketball, is because I want to see the young guys so I can see maybe you can develop something down the line. All right. So what's your gut tell you? Less than 20%, 10%?
Yeah, you know what? And that's not a bad number. Hey, if you told me I had a 20% chance to get one of the top 25 all-time players in the NBA, I'd be all in. So we'll wait and see. I might be talking to you after 3:00 on Thursday. You never know. But again, this is not a case if it doesn't happen of the Heat failing. They will do everything possible with what they believe, not Orlando Alzagari, but what they believe is within reason. And if it doesn't happen, it won't be for a lack of trying. Pat Riley still has the harpoon no matter what he tells you about. He's still big game hunting out there if he can, but it's hard to make a deal in the NBA. I wouldn't be surprised on Thursday if we're talking about the Heat as Ja Morant and not Giannis Antetokounmpo, but they're out there, they're fishing, they're harpooning, they're whaling, they're hunting, they are looking. They never sit back. You can give this front office credit for that.
All right, two-part question. Is
Sure.
it 50-50 on the Morant thing? And the other thing is, I haven't heard the NBA say, hey, Miami Heat, you can trade Rozier's salary. I hate the way this league has mishandled this whole thing, and there isn't any information, which there should be flat out clear information to the team, the league, the media, the fans, so everybody knows where everybody stands. Because if you're giving Rozier access to his money now, I would imagine then Miami has access to move his money.
And they do for this reason. The league hasn't said anything. I'll tell you why. When the league gets into a bad situation, they ignore it. Perfect example. Steve Ballmer, the Los Angeles Clippers, the salary cap circumvention with Kawhi Leonard, we've heard nothing. Sweep it under rug, especially with the All-Star game at the Clippers Arena. Terry Rozier, same thing. The league never said anything. The Players Association commented yesterday, but the league never said anything when it came to what's going on next. So you have that type of situation there with the Terry Rozier thing. But if Terry Rozier was involved in not being allowed to be traded, the Heat would have cut him when they could have saved $1.6 million on January 7th at the guarantee deadline. That tells me at that point when the Heat didn't release him, the Heat were told they could put him in play. Now, does he get traded? I don't know. I do know this. If Terry Rozier is not traded by Thursday's trading deadline, he will be released by the Miami Heat because you're paying him anyway, so you might as well fill that roster spot with someone. Hey, maybe a Myron Gardner goes from a two-way to a standard contract. You find your next young player like they have over the years, but there'd be no downside to that.
Okay. All right. So then the Morant deal fitty or lower percent of that?
I think Morant is a higher percentage than Giannis Antetokounmpo, which is not speaking out of turn or anything. As a matter of fact, I had a friend text me, he said, keep an eye on Morant. So I think that could be possible. They will wait on any Morant element until Giannis. So literally, it could be, if it's a 3 p.m. deadline on Thursday, at 2:45, the Heat aren't getting Giannis. At 2:50, the Miami Heat have made a move for Morant because they know that Terry Rozier expiring contract goes into the ether at 3 p.m. Why lose an asset for nothing? You might as well put it in play. The Heat have been very good about making contracts go away or taking advantage of expiring contracts. I would expect something similar this time around.
And that's it, right? We're not talking about any other possible name that could be associated.
Well, I mean, yeah, there's always names that'll be attached. There could be smaller deals, and it's not.
No, I mean, like, is there another player that you know that they could trade for outside of Giannis and Morant?
Not star level, but again, if you make a Giannis or you make a Morant, you might need to fill in with something else. I just tweeted this also, and this is important. Because the Heat are below the first apron, they can sign any player on a buyout deal once he is released, as long as he's released by March 1st. We've already seen this robust list of names: Dario Saric, Mike Conley Jr., guys who were traded for Kyle Anderson, our good friend, who were traded for cap mixes. All of these guys should be available by March 1st. So if you see the Heat send out 5 players for one or make a multiplayer deal, send out 2 for 1 for Morant, there'll be a pretty interesting pool of guys that he can sign. And because they smartly have stayed below the first apron, they'll be able to fill out their roster.
Give me a sexy name or two that's caught you on that list. So you say, yeah, maybe that he could get those guys.
Well, I'm going to give you a fun name because I do think if Kevin Love perhaps gets a buyout from the Jazz, I think that's a guy that could wind up being at least in the mix of buyout guys. There'd be some machinations that he would have to make in order to bring him back, but he was traded. He wasn't waived, so that's a possibility. So, yeah, I think previous deals, he'd always cycle back to their own, don't they? Hey, Kyle Anderson, he had his moment, so you just never know.
All right, and you boost your IG presence too if you bring Kevin Love back. All right, follow him on Twitter. Follow him on Twitter at Ira Heatbeat. What are you doing on the Sentinel leading up to the deadline?
Well, I wrote about the Terry Rozier impact, about him getting a salary, how that impacts that. Today, I just wrote a primer of here's every Heat trade chip. You folks go out, decide what you want to send out, what you don't want to send out. Just wrote the story about how Ja Morant could yet be in play with the Heat. And who knows, Big O, if things go right, I will talk to you with an emergency accurate Pembroke Pines report on Thursday. So we shall see.
You got it, my brother. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Ira, we will hopefully talk on Thursday, my friend. Thank you.
You, me, and Giannis.
Yes. There you go. Ira Winderman and our Acura of Pembroke Pines, Miami Heat, and NBA report. On Thursday, we'll be on in the morning, but after the deadline, if something happens, we'll track Ira down and there'll be a later post. Well, maybe we'll go live. What the hell? In the afternoon. If there's a trade. If there's no trade, then not, but whatever. So we might do a little second short show, just an NBA Miami Heat trade special if they make one of those. See, the Morant deal, I normally wouldn't want it anymore. But my problem is you're not going to do what I want. So, all right, customer appreciation sales event is going on right now. The 2026 Integra, $239 a month. That's a joke. 2.9% financing for 60 months. Get on down there, man. 15601 Pines Boulevard. They've got some great deals. Acuras are built here in America. By the way, ADX 2025, $239, 1.9% financing. That's a joke for 60 months. The RDX 2025, $369 a month, 3.9% financing. The TLX Tech is a joke, only $389 a month. That thing is loaded. All right, 3.9% financing for 60 months. They've got a lot that is overflowing with cars. They've got a large selection of certified pre-owned. They've got used cars. Check it out at Acura of Pembroke Pines.
You've been listening to the Acura of Pembroke Pines Miami Heat and NBA report with Ira Winderman. When you're looking for award-winning service and great deals from the #1 volume Acura sales dealership in the Southeast United States, you go to Craig's in Acura of Pembroke Pines at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
Right. Let's see. Don't forget, folks, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. Ho Yoon, thank you, sir. As always, very generous. He says, have a great day and happy anniversary to Sean. There you go. Nice job by you. Ho Yoon is a really cool dude, by the way. Really cool dude. We got together on Saturday and had a really, really good time. Look forward to seeing him again when I go up there in Jacksonville. And I'm sure I'll be up there at one point or another, man. The John Waite concert was actually good that we went to. Today's a great day for me personally because Biffy Clyro announced a North American tour, baby. I love it. Biffy Clyro is a band that I love. By the way, go Black Chandelier, that song. Go check it out just for the hell of it. That's my favorite song. So Biffy Clyro announced that they are touring, and they're only going to a few places. On 420, NorCal, Think Blue Dodgers. Go ahead, light it up. They'll be in L.A. How about that? Think Blue Dodgers. In 420, they'll be there. 423, they'll be in Denver. 425, Minneapolis. 426, Chicago. 428, Indy. 429, Louisville. 501, Detroit. 502, Toronto, 503, Montreal, 505, New York City, 506, Silver Springs, Maryland, and 507, Philadelphia. Short tour, okay? 12 dates, that's it. That's all you get. They headline in Europe and all kinds of places. They are an excellent band, a Scottish band, 3 guys, underrated as hell. Nobody really knows them here in this country. It's not like you got to be like a really music aficionado to know Biffy Clyro, or you've heard me talk about it here on the show over the years. But I want to go. I'm thinking Indy, Louisville, back-to-back nights. Indianapolis, Louisville are kind of close to each other. Plus, I love Indy. It's an easy city to fly in, fly out, super comfortable. And then Louisville, why not? Go enjoy a little Louisville. Why not? What is 428 and 29? What days are those? Be so lucky if it was a Friday, Saturday, or Saturday, Sunday. That would be freaking amazing if it was. But anyway, so Biffy Clyro announces. So that is happy for me. And Triumph, 28 and 29 of May. Tuesday, Wednesday. May. Yes. Thursday, Friday is not bad. That's not bad Thursday, Friday. Okay. Would have to do Acura on Wednesday. No, at the last, well, we could do it the week before. Yeah, we could do it the week before. Yeah. Triumph, by the way, has added another day. I bought the Tampa date, okay, on May 24th, and they didn't have any other dates. Then they go and add Orlando on April 10th at Hard Rock Live. And today they added Hard Rock Live in Hollywood, April 13th. These are the first dates of the tour, actually. Mine is later on. It's yeah, because they it was so successful that they said, okay, let's build ahead. And so they put those two Florida dates early on right there. But that's crazy. So I'm gonna have to find a way to go to Miami or to Orlando. I don't know. I'm gonna have to do it. You know, I might as well do a little music. What the hell? I'm talking about music. Let me get that out of the way before I get back to the Dolphins. Oh man! All right, let's do musicians celebrating birthdays today, since that's what we like to do. All right, here we go. What musicians are celebrating birthdays today? All right, on February 3rd. Sean Kingston, the thief, the terrible jet skier, born in 1990. Kashawn Anderson, he and his mom celebrating life in jail right now. Daddy Yankee, born in 1977. Little Despacito. Richie Kotzen, guitarist, singer, songwriter, Mr. Big, born in 1970. Let's see what else. Matt Johnson, keyboardist with Jamiroquai, born in 1969. Nick Hawkins, guitarist with Big Audio Dynamite, born in 1965. Lee Ronaldo with Sonic Youth, a guitarist, born in 56. Arthur Kane, Arthur Killer Kane, bass guitarist with the New York Dolls, born in 1949. Melanie Scaffa, born in 1947. Singer. Dave Davies from the Kinks, born in 1947. Eric Haydock, original bass guitarist with the Hollies, born in 43. Dennis Edwards, singer with the Temptations, born in 43. Now we move on to other famous people celebrating birthdays today. Remember, if I don't give you an age, that means they have passed away, unfortunately. Let's see. Artist Norman Rockwell, born in 1894. Gangster Charles Arthur Pretty Boy Floyd, born in 1904. I was just hanging out with him the other day. Actor John Fiedler, born in 1925. Comedian Shelley Berman, born in 1925. Football Hall of Fame member Frank Tarkenton, born in 1940. He is 86 today. Damn, bless him. Bob Greasy for the Miami Dolphins, born in 45. He is 81. Still with us, bless him. Let's see. Morgan Fairchild, born in 1950. She's 76 today. Musician Boom Gasper with Pearl Jam, born in 53. He's 73. Actor Nathan Lane, born in 56. He's 70. Musician Lee Ronaldo from Sonic Youth, born in 56. He's 70. Musician Lowell Tolhurst from The Cure, born in 59. He's 67. Actor Thomas Calabro. I don't know if he's related to Steve. Born in 59, he's 67. World Golf Hall of Fame member Retief Gutson. Born in 69, he's 57. Filmmaker Anthony Russo. Born in 70, he's 56. And human rights lawyer Amal Clooney. Born in 78, she's 48. Entrepreneur Elizabeth Holmes, born in 84, she's 42. And that is it for birthdays. Sean Stanley, do you have wrestlers born on this date, sir?
Yes, we do. Devin Taylor is 38. Becky Bayless is 44. Angela Fong turns 41. Dory Funk Jr. is 85. Haku is 67. Marty Jannetty turned 66. And Carrie Von Erich was born on this date in 1960. That date being February 3rd, 2026.
All right. Bitcoin, by the way, is at 75,768. So after going down to, what was it, like 73? 70, wait a minute. 72.9. 72.9 it hit. Now it's at 75.8. Quick bounce. Damn. Bear trap. Bear trap. Bear trap. Oh my God. I've been caught in a bear trap. Anyway, what else do we have going on in the world of sports? Let's get to our 3A Graphics sports calendar. The one and only Alan Blanco tonight. The Hawks and the Heat. The Heat are favored by 3.5. The over and under is 240.5. Plus 135 on the money line. The Heat are minus 160 on the money line. The Sabres beat the Panthers last night 5-3. The Cats have lost 4 in a row, and they are 9-12 in their last 21 games. Wednesday, they take on Boston at the Amerant Bank Arena. Saturday at 2 o'clock, Miami taking on BC in basketball. Saturday, February 7th, they're at Beyond Bankcard Field. Fort Lauderdale United back in action. They are hosting Dallas Trinity. And reports say New England Patriots owner Robert Kraft did not make the Hall of Fame cut. And Lindsey Vonn tore her ACL in a crash on Friday in Switzerland, but she has decided that she will still compete in the Olympics. That is one tough woman. That is your 3A Graphics sports calendar. Call Alan Blanco if you need custom printing and embroidery for your company, corporation, school, 786-618-1443. I got to tell you that when you start looking at this Dolphins season, there's a blessing for you all as Dolphin fans that you're going to be able to find something out very fast. And that's the one thing that you got to love about what's going to happen. Even though I expect rough waters, I don't expect this to be easy, but I think Miami fans will learn a brutal reality over the next 2 years. And it might be good and it might be bad. As we talked about earlier on the show, it's about building a foundation right now, about building a culture. It's not about finding a quarterback. That's stupid. So we're going to find out over the next 2 years that you got to tear down the cap to now build it back up again. You got a whole bunch of extra draft picks over the next 2 years, plus all your picks. Okay, so you're going to have an opportunity to bring in some fresh faces over the next 2 years. You've got actually some you can work with already as it is. So in 2 years, we're going to find out if these guys can coach in the toughest environment possible. If they can create a culture while losing, if they can play winning football, doesn't necessarily have to turn into W's. But what I mean by is you take care of the football, you don't create a lot of penalties, you don't make a lot of mistakes, all that kind of stuff. You get beat overall because somebody's better. We can understand that. You're tearing it down. But if you can build a team that isn't beating themselves, that is playing smart football, that is in games constantly, all those kind of things, we're going to feel good in 2 years. But if we see that they can't get plays in on time, that their team is inconsistent, that 1 week they play well, 1 quarter they play well, 1 quarter they don't, 1 week they do, 1 week they don't, we're going to find out what they are. So the brutal reality of what Sully and Half really are, they're going to get tested in the first 2 years because they are under the most difficult circumstances. And so we're going to find out if they can actually manage and navigate through these rough waters. I like that, actually, because it allows me to find out, it's easy to be Barry Switzer, Sean, when you step in and Jimmy Johnson left you everything ready to go and you win a championship. It's easy when you're Dennis Erickson and you step into the Canes and they left you a loaded roster. And then after, when you're the custodian and you have to reload the teams over the next couple of years, you saw the drop-off. So when it's ready-made for you and you're George Seifert and you step in for, Walsh, the legend, it becomes a little easier for you. But then after, reality steps in. Can you really do the job? Like Jeff Fisher stepped into a great situation in Michigan, won a national championship, but then continued to be a damn good coach overall. So he proved that he was a good coach. So now these guys don't get that luxury that they're stepping into a good situation. No, they're stepping into a bad situation. Now we're going to find out if you can really coach. We're going to find out if you can manage a roster, if you can manage egos, if you can actually get your team to play competent football so your fans can feel good about your football team. That's what we're going to find out. Subaru of Pembroke Pines. We love talking about Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Always, baby. Always. They know how to get it done. 16100 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 in Pines, a couple minutes west. You're right there. They've always got great deals going on. And by the way, tell them that Big O sent you, because they will take care of you, man. $500 off right there. You tell them I sent you, and you will get $500 off right away. All right. Got a great service center. They got great deals going on right now. So make sure you visit them and tell them that I sent you. Eric Stampone is out there. Alan does great work too. He's the general manager. The selection is ridiculous, which is always good, So if you want an Outback or something, you're looking for a certain vehicle, you're gonna see a nice wide selection there at Subaru of Pembroke Pines. All right. Howdy. Will we be relieved not to hear that the ums and the ahs anymore? Yeah, half can talk at least. That is good. Pat in Nashville says Florida also leads the nation in assaults by pizza slices, men riding alligators in drive-through lines. I like that. Yeah. We're leaders in a lot of categories. A lot of crazy shit. That's for sure. What else do we have here? Big O, if BPA is not a trench player at the 11th pick, would you trade down for more draft picks? I don't know. Where am I? What's there? Who's there to select? I have no idea, dude. I can't answer something when there's no substance to it, man. You know what I'm saying? That's like discussing Kyler Murray and Justin Fields. Like, there's no substance to that. That's all hypothetical bullshit. I got to be put in that situation to know what's available at that moment that I'm passing up. Is it worth it or not? I don't know. It's too general of a thing that I don't really get into the hypotheticals here, especially when it's something like that all you're going to do is waste your time talking about nothing, because none of it is real. Because we actually have no idea what's going to happen, what's going to be there, or anything. We don't even know if Miami will have the 11th pick. They might do something already before the draft and trade down. They might trade up. I have no idea. You know what I'm saying? It's like talking about trading up for Fernando Mendoza because the Giants have the number 1 pick and they already have Jackson Dart. And you have a bunch of Dolphin fans and stupid Dolphin sites and ridiculous writers writing about shit like that. Why? Because they just want to fill content. And that's what that bullshit is. That's when you're arguing Justin Fields and Kyler Murray for a couple segments. That's just filling content, doing bullshit. You know what I mean? Not my style, bro. Let's see. Big O, I said exactly what Ira said in my dream trade, which was Moran and Giannis. It doesn't mean it's going to happen, but I wished it a month ago. Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen because just the 2 first-round picks to me doesn't seem enough in any of those trades. Somebody's always going to offer like 4 or 5 of them for Giannis, plus the young guy. Yeah, Jaren Jackson. Yeah, 3 first-rounders just for Jaren Jackson. So 2, it's stupid shit that Heat fans and writers talk about. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Can you sit there and think about it for a moment? Like, why would they do a trade for only 2 first-rounders? And it's not like you're giving them players like, oh, my God, I've got to have these guys. Because Ware still hasn't busted through to that point. And you don't know if he will. You know he has the talent, but you still don't know. Let's see. Hello to you, Robert. Ray Grullon in the house. Mr. Spock, baby steps. Can we not get killed with the details, penalties, discipline, burning timeouts, drops, special team miscues? All of that needs to be plucked if we are serious about building a winner. I like how, Mr. Spock is completely into common sense. And to me, when, you're a Vulcan and you can come up with common sense, thank you, Mr. Spock. Way to go, buddy. Way to go. I like that. That is good right there. You know what's another content filler? Mock drafts. We haven't had free agency, and they're doing mock drafts. I got to tell you, at QAM, they used to ask me for a mock, and I hated doing it. I only used to do it for Miguel. Once Miguel Escobar left, and they came to me with mocks, I told them, no, go shove it where the sun don't shine. Because I love Miguel. Miguel Escobar was a class act and a really good dude. So, sometimes there are certain people you got affinity for, and you'll do it for them. You know what I'm saying? You're not doing it for the station. You're doing it for him. You know what I'm saying? So I would only do my mocks because Miguel Escobar asked me. Everybody else that would ask me, I would tell them to go fly a kite, go play in the highway or whatever. I hated mocks. I think mocks are a waste of time. It's stupid stuff. How am I going to think like 32 GMs? Seriously. Like, how am I going to do that? You know what I'm saying? I can't figure out the lottery. How am I going to figure out the 32 GMs? You know what I'm saying? So, it's ridiculous. The mock is set there to set you up for failure. But doing mocks before free agency has gone is just a waste of time. But a lot of you like that bullshit. And you actually use it like if it's something. Like there's some substance to it or some bullshit. Yes.
What I found interesting was there was one, I know how you feel about them, but PFF put out one.
Yes.
No, but they had 4 Hurricanes in the top in the first round go.
Okay, I can see that.
They had Bain second, Malinois third.
And Mesidor
went over
the back end of the first round.
I think the 17 or something like that. And Keontae Scott came in.
And
this was after the Senior Bowls and everything else like that. That was their picks.
Well, Keontae can play, bro.
Yeah, no,
he
definitely
made plays.
Definitely, but that's why I looked at one of them.
Game-changing plays.
I looked at that draft.
Sparkling Saratoga.
I looked at that one just because I saw first time you seen Hurricanes kind of dominating the first round.
Right. Well, it's nice to get back to doing that.
That's when it's starting to turn around.
That's right. Dude, the Canes screwed up over and over in that game and still had a chance to win. They were the more talented team. They just weren't the smarter, cleaner, better team. That's all. They were more talented, but they didn't have everything else. And that's where it ended. They had the better quarterback. They had the better coaching staff. They had the better overall smart, intelligent, clean team. They made one penalty in that game, and that penalty almost cost them the game. That tells you that there was a fine line. You know that song? There's a thin line between love and hate. Well, there was a thin line between win and loss. That's what happened in that game. And if the Hurricanes don't screw up so much They might have won that damn game because they had more talent. But the better coach was on that sideline, not on ours. I got to be honest, okay? It's just kind of the way it is. I don't look at Mario. I look at him as a terrific recruiter, motivator, all that kind of stuff, and delegator. But I've never looked at him as a brainy X's and O's guy that's going to stump the guy on the other side like Belichick would do sometimes, like McVay can do, like Shula would do to people all the damn time. Stuff like that. I don't expect him to be that guy. Sorry. I mean, it's just kind of the way it is. He's going to outwork you, out-recruit you, and all that kind of stuff. And that's what he did. And that's how he got to the national championship. And that's hopefully how he'll win a title. But if he's going to run into a Cignetti, you better make sure that your team plays clean football. And that's what happened. They didn't play clean football and they lost. It's kind of the way it goes. But back to the mock stuff. It's just, that's just garbage. Caneswear, don't forget to use our code BIG010. You will get 10% off at Caneswear, 2655 South University Drive in Davie. Appreciate you all out there. We are 2 days away from the trading deadline, so we'll find out if Giannis, which I don't think is going to happen. The Morant one, I can see it because nobody really wants Morant, and most people can't handle Morant. And believe it or not, the Rozier trade is sexy for them because they're stuck with Morant for a couple of years, whereas the Rozier salary comes off the books at the end of the year, so they end up opening up $26 million. So that's why they're going to want to do that trade. And there aren't a lot of places that can take Ja. I can see that one happening. The Giannis one is not going to happen. They'll be the bridesmaid like they always are. They're never the bride anymore. The Heat are they're not that team anymore. Sorry. You know what I'm saying? They're not looked at like that anymore. The Spo part of it, yes, but the rest of it is nothing special, unfortunately. Let's see here. What else? Lindsey Vaughn, that is amazing news. Salary cap is going to go up to $301 to $306 million. Do you know where the cap was in 2022? At $208 million. And it's going to be 301 to 306. Can you believe that? That's crazy, dude. Okay, you got time? Okay. Oh, I haven't checked. Yeah. We're on air. We're waiting for you to wrap it up here. It's the wrap up. We'll get you. Give him the mic at least. We'll get him on the camera so he can break mirrors and all kinds of stuff in a minute.
It's not a radio face. A radio face.
I have the radio face.
Yeah, radio
sure.
face. Yeah.
I have a dark room face. That would really. It would be better if I just broadcasted in a dark room. That would probably be better.
But see, you can't say that nowadays because the young generation doesn't know what a dark room is.
Yeah.
Everything's digital now.
That's true. That is true. That is true.
And I don't even know if the young people know what radio is.
Yeah.
That's but it's something. There's something to be said about the good old days.
Amen to that. The better days.
I think they were better.
Oh, no, they were better. It's not even close, dude. Social media and all that crap. We didn't have that. We didn't have any of that. We could have fun.
Yeah, I mean,
you would make mistakes and nobody would find out ever
there's
again.
no video of you doing something foolish that wow, thank God I got away with that one.
Nothing. No cameras anywhere.
I love it. Life was good.
Yeah,
I mean, life's great now. Don't get me wrong. I'm a happy man, but
it's not as good.
It's not as good.
It's not as good.
Yeah.
It's just not as good.
Yeah. But now the average 20 to 30-year-old or 20 to 35-year-old would tell you, no, life's great now. But they don't know
They don't
what
know
they're
any better.
missing.
Right.
They don't know what they missed.
Like college basketball. Like they don't know. Like they've been watching for 25 years this garbage, whereas they didn't get to see, like you got Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, or I got to see Magic Johnson or Shaq
Patrick Ewing
or Michael Jordan
Georgetown.
for 3 to 4 years and all that. Like they didn't get to see that. They have no idea what they missed. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, there's a lot of things that I can point at that are way better. In fact, I had that conversation earlier this week about that. I think it was like on Monday that it's just everything's changed for the worse, actually, not really for the better, to be quite honest.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I get technology. I embrace technology. You know, here at the casino, we have faster jackpots.
Yeah, that kind of stuff is fun.
Yeah,
that kind of stuff is fun. But there are things that have gotten better. But there's so many other things that are just like social media makes it all worse.
Yeah, social media is just like it just seems like it's going to be a problem for you. You write something today in 2026 and in 2030 they say, well, look what he said, you know, out of context. Maybe, you know, the whole thing with social media is weird. Even with hiring, you know, we'll be interviewing somebody, then we check their social media stuff and they're psychos or something like that. You know, they're like the satanic rituals. So we're like, maybe we shouldn't hire them. They might start, you know, they're burning, you know, ducks and chickens in the parking lot when they're coming to work. So we better not hire them. Right?
Yeah.
It's crazy. But that being said, there's
although if you kill puppies, they put you in charge of Homeland Security. So,
well, yeah.
I mean, you know, it's kind
of
but
in Montana, but in North Dakota, they do a lot of things in North Dakota. Have you ever really do you know anybody?
No, I don't.
From North Dakota?
No, I don't.
Do you know anybody that's visited North Dakota?
No.
So does anybody really care about North Dakota?
I don't know. Maybe some of our listeners have. They just haven't told us yet. But yeah,
they want to admit to it, right? I mean, but at any rate, we have technology here at Hialeah Park, whether in the poker room and downstairs in the slot floor. But we also have some good old action. We got
lots of action
on the poker
loose slots
downstairs, giving away.
We got
Cartier watches on the 14th.
Men and women's Cartier watches on the 14th and at the end of the month. So it's
and by the way,
2 giveaways.
By the way, we're doing the giveaway the old-fashioned way. A lot of casinos do this electronic drawing, and you have to sort of trust the casino. Like push the button, some guy in IT pushed a button, and it spun around and picked out your name. We have an actual barrel.
Right, classic barrel.
You take the piece of entry.
It's still analog.
Yes, it's beyond that.
You're still analog.
We tried electronic, and our customers had a little bit of a revolt.
Yeah.
A little revolt. You know,
I like that better.
Yeah, you see me turn the bin.
Yeah,
and
there you go.
We pick it out, and we pick Orlando like that. I don't want to say that. Then somebody will tape it and AI, and it'll be he's winning it and stuff like that. But
there was a saying I saw on a GIF somewhere. It said, I forgot what it said about you do something one way in life, but text and email like it will end up in court or in public as whatever. You know what I mean?
Basically, the old school way, come back to bite you.
Yeah. So, it's like, but I forgot what it was to do one way that you could do openly, but make sure you text or email like it's going to end up on a court somewhere or somehow.
Well, listen,
it's kind of true, by the way.
The Jersey guy, I got to tell you something. You know, name ends in a vowel, lives outside of Philly where all the 80s mobsters were, but he's old school too. He's old school. And we talked about it, and I'm going to give the official Seattle.
You're both going Seattle?
Both Seattle.
Yeah, but so you're telling them to take it now at 4.5 instead of 5.5 then?
They'll take it now. Take it now at 4.5. Bet it now.
I already did.
Yeah.
I did it with the first 4.5 that came in, which was last week at some time.
It went to 5 and it went back to 4.5. I bet it on 4.5.
Right.
Finally,
it opened at 5.5 and then it went to 4.5. I took it, and then it went back up to 5.5, and now it's been at 4.5 the last couple of days.
Take the 4.5.
I took it at 4.5.
Now this Jersey guy said something that's a little weird. He wants you to buy down the over/under.
Oh, okay.
The over/under is like 45.5 or something like that, right? 45, either 45 or 45.5. He wants you to buy it down to 39.5 and bet the over.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Now you're not going to get paid as much,
right?
So he likes Seattle, and then buy down that over at 39.5. Give up, some juice that you're gonna get at the regular over and under, and that's what he likes. A very different approach. Because you think more than 40 points are going to be scored, 39.5.
I just would not touch that. I'm afraid of that one because the defenses are brutal. And May has not done anything in the passing game.
He's going to have
now he's going to face the best defense he has faced so far in the playoffs.
Yeah, so that's the Jersey guy's pick. I'm not crazy about it. I'm just betting Seattle.
Yeah, you're betting Seattle.
And then I'm going to
with
see
the
what
points.
happens in the first quarter, see if I can, double down on that a little. I was looking
I like Seattle minus 4.5. I really do. I like them at 5.5. If I had to bet it, I would bet 5.5. I think they're going to win by a touchdown.
I'm thinking I haven't done this yet, but my pick is 4.5 and the Seattle. But I'm saying, why not buy it up to 6.5? I think they're going to win by a touchdown. I think Seattle's going to win by a touchdown, at least a touchdown.
I agree.
I think it's easily could be, 28-14. Could easily be that, and so I don't like the 39.5, but the Jersey guy liked the 39.5, buying it down. But I'm going to
go with props, and that's what I'll do on Friday. I'll look at the props. And then we'll talk some props for Sunday. We'll talk some props.
All right, I got one question before I leave.
Okay.
By the way, before I leave, I had a big meeting today, 3-4 hours. That's why I couldn't talk earlier to you. But with very exciting things that are happening here at Hialeah
awesome.
Park.
I look forward to it.
Listen, a couple things happening. One's a long-term 2-year thing, that was the meeting today. We're also bringing entertainment here. February 28th, we have a Cuban band. It is Danny Ome, O-M-E, I don't know if that, and Kevin Cito. So that's a local band here. It's going to be a big crowd. And then March 28th is Black Coffee.
Black Coffee.
Look it up. There might be like 6,000 plus people out there.
Black Coffee. I don't know them.
Well, I'm just telling you, entertainment's coming. And
I will check. So you guys are now going. So English and Spanish entertainment.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. We're gonna do entertainment. Try to do entertainment as often as we can. Right there on the, put
I
the
love
stage
it.
on the track.
Yeah, dude. You have
it's a nice amphitheater. Yeah. And we have this long-term thing. The meeting I met today was about something. I don't want to say it because I don't want to jinx it or anything. But man, is it exciting! It's super exciting.
I like it.
It's super exciting. It's gonna take a while.
Oh,
But the guy I was talking to has a little sports association. He played for University of Connecticut basketball for 4 years.
Oh, you told me about this. Yeah, we talked about this.
He didn't score 1 point. He literally tells you, he goes, I said, well, you played for UConn. He goes, I sat the bench for UConn for 4 years. And he legitimately sat the bench for 4 years.
Yeah, it happens. They're a practice player.
I mean, UConn wasn't up by 40 points. They couldn't throw the kid in.
No, because sometimes you have a bench and then you have practice players on top of all of that.
Yeah, he was.
And he was probably a practice player.
Yeah.
There's
nice guy. 20-year career.
Dude, he got himself a free
free ride.
A free ride.
Yeah.
He got a degree. If he's smart, those guys that are playing in that part, that's what they're supposed to do. They're getting the free ride. And they're getting a great experience being part of a great college program. So everybody wins.
I think in 4 years. In 1 year, in one game, he took 2 shots. He didn't make them both. It would have been great if he made one. If he made one, he would have been shooting 50%.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Or maybe if he shot 3 and he made 2, he would have been shooting 67%. Yeah.
He would have been
a good guy. A good guy. If he's around here someday, you got to meet him. He's not the tallest guy. Maybe he's 6. He was a small guy, like 6'4" or something like that.
Oh, that's all.
Yeah, in UConn world, that's like he's not really.
That
big.
is a small guard. Yeah.
Guard. In high school, he's like he was the monster all state.
Maybe even forward.
He goes to Connecticut, and he's like he's a
guard.
shooting guard. He's a shooting guard at 6'4", and that's like using the term shooting guard loosely because he didn't really shoot because he didn't play.
Right.
You gotta
that
love
is
the guy.
awesome.
I didn't know that existed.
And I'm glad you guys are bringing entertainment, man.
Entertainment, a big special thing that it's gonna.
If you guys need any help on the English side, because I can't help you on the Spanish side, but if you needed any on the English side on bands, ideas, I got plenty of them.
All right.
I've only been to about 13, 14, 1,500 concerts in my life, so I might.
You don't really like them.
I may have a little knowledge of music.
You don't enjoy concerts.
Just
sometimes
just a tad,
like once a week.
Just a tad. A tad.
Anyhow, it's exciting things happening.
But it's something I would love to, if they need any help and any ideas and all.
More on the English shows.
only. And I don't know any. If I knew anything on Spanish, I could help you. I could offer my help, but I cannot offer my help there. Yeah.
You know, sports.
Yes.
Sports, man.
Yes.
You know, sports. And
yeah. And I can help you get the connections on the music side.
All right. Well,
with
off the air, we'll have to have a little
with
conversation.
some of the promoters, because I actually know some of the, I
listen,
already know some of those people as it is.
The real impetus behind this.
I can reach out to them for you.
The real impetus behind this has been Steve Brunetti. He's one of our owners.
Wants to improve the entertainment side, huh?
He loves the entertainment side, and look, from a business standpoint, we're at a very mature casino now, and we need what I call amenities. We need things like more restaurants. We need entertainment.
Sure.
We need hotels. We need, whatever other amenities we can bring.
You just heard what's coming.
Well, I didn't say that. It's a spa. Maybe it's a spa.
I'm just saying.
Maybe it's a spa.
He just gave it away right there.
I can neither confirm or deny.
Okay. All I can
neither
tell you
confirm
is
or
that
deny.
I can tell you is that I'll be staying here
I can neither
overnight after I do a show or something.
Do you realize how long it takes to do a hotel?
Bro. Yeah, it does. If the city or the county are involved,
well, they have to be. They have to approve. They have to approve.
No,
this stuff.
They just prove that you build it. Private is different. Have you seen how fast that stadium has gone up there for the soccer team? That thing popped up like in 2 seconds. You know that he built the stadium in Fort Lauderdale in 8 months. So if Mr. Brunetti's in charge, did you see how fast those houses came up? He's a badass.
He's in
bro.
charge. He's in charge, but it takes a while. It takes a while.
But I bet you that when it starts construction, Mr.
Oh,
Brunetti,
once the construction starts, it's fast.
Mr. Brunetti ain't gonna screw around. He's gonna have that shit built
He's gonna
Now,
fast
if the city or the county was in charge of building anything,
no.
It's gonna take 800 years.
10 years.
I won't
10
be
years.
alive.
10 years. Your grandkids might stay in it.
Yeah. See, with Mr. Brunetti in charge, I'll be enjoying it in a couple years.
No, I can't confirm or deny that.
That's all right. Better
Anyhow.
concerts too. Once we get the hotel, we got like an amphitheater in there, a theater, that all that kind of stuff.
So we're getting to the next phase of Hialeah Park, and we're gonna build amenities, other things that customers can come here. So you could come here and you could gamble,
right,
and maybe go to dinner, or maybe you could go to a show,
right,
go to dinner,
and not gamble,
and not gamble,
right,
stay in the hotel.
Right.
And have a blast. They're talking about some pretty cool amenities in the hotel. I won't tell you what they are, but they're very cool. And still, it would be a profitable thing for us and enjoyable thing for you.
Come up from Homestead or the Keys, you stay the night, enjoy yourself.
Enjoy. You're in
plunging your guts out, betting at tracks all over the country, gambling, enjoying the entertainment, the food, and the concerts.
I love it. Anyhow, let me get out of here before I get in trouble. I have to confirm anything.
Okay.
I don't want to confirm.
I'm going to be the MC for the concerts.
The American ones.
Of course.
The American ones.
Well, I can present them in Spanish too. I don't need to know anything about them. I can present them. Aquí estás, whatever. And, performing whatever. I could do that, but that's easy. No, the American concerts.
Alrighty. Sounds good.
Black Coffee. I'm going to listen to him on the way home now.
Yeah.
I'm going to check him out.
It's actually on our sign now. Downstairs, and it's going to be a lot of people.
Okay, good.
I've
Really?
heard all kinds of numbers. I've heard 5,000. I've heard 6,000, 7,000, 4,000. I've heard every number between 4 and 8.
Okay.
So it's 4 is a lot.
All right, no, I'm going to check them out.
8's twice as many. So it's going to be a lot of people.
All right. Beautiful.
February
thing.
28th.
And Cartier watches on the 14th, and at the end of the month, come on down here. Every time you play the slots, you get an entry. Every single time you pull the lever, push the button, whatever it is that it makes you do, you get an entry every single time. So come on down and play the loose slots here at Hialeah Park.
Adios.
Much love, brother.
Adios.
You're the best.
Bye.
All right. There you go. The man, the myth, the legend. That is Steve Calabro. And we thank, of course, David Furones for joining us on the program. We thank Ira Winderman. We thank, of course, the great Sean Stanley, of course, always. Thank you out there. Michael Golden is somewhere around here, as always, and all the great people out here. Without Mr. Brunetti, it never happens. So we thank Mr. Brunetti and the great people here at Hialeah Park, as always, for making it happen. We shall see you tomorrow morning. Same time, same place, same bat channel.